Okay, this is for the USHA. We are going to divide the 16 teams into two conferences of 8. And you can consider this like a World Cup style draw where they draw the teams into their different groups. And just like the World Cup, they sometimes have parameters set ahead of time. So first parameter of the two conferences is each conference is going to get one of the two expansion teams. So Fort Worth is in one and Rockford's in the other. The Fort Worth coach, Patrick, knows the Milwaukee coach, Frank. They're in the same league, basketball league together. So that's how we found that coach to join our league. So I'm going to put them in the same conference since they know each other and might have a better chance to play face-to-face. And then also Frank, the Milwaukee coach, and me, the Chicago coach, are brothers, so we play face-to-face whenever I visit him at Christmas time. So we'll put us in the same conference as well, just so we can have more face-to-face play potentially. Nobody else had a strong preference on which conference they wanted to be in, except for Tom. Los Angeles wanted to be with Pacific Coast teams, but other than a couple people that said they're in the Pacific Coast, there wasn't really any naming of who wants to be with who. So for now, we'll just do a random draw and see what happens. So I'm going to reach in. What we're going to do is we're going to fill these two spots first, 2 and 3 over here, so both conferences have 3 teams, and then I'll just go back and forth till all the spots are filled. So I've written all 12 other teams on a little sticky note and rolled them up so they're all like the little balls you see on the World Cup draw. So mix them up just like they have those professionals do and select one. Okay, so we'll unwrap this, unwrap it, and see who the first lucky winner is. St. Lucia has come out of the bin, SLS. It's a little hard to see, but there it is. Okay, so they'll be in the conference with Rockford. Mix it up and take another one. Trying to do this where I unwrap it with 2 hands, but I can't hold the camera at the same time. I think you can hear that. So the Washington Redskins were drawn next. They are also in the second conference. Now we're going to go back to the first conference. The 4th team of the first conference will be so this doesn't open as easily as they do on TV, but okay. There we go. Cleveland. Cleveland is in Conference 1. Now we'll go back to Conference 2. Oops. Port Charles. Port Charles is in Conference 2, 4th team. So we're halfway done, 8 teams down, 8 to go. Oops, it gets a little sticky part. Okay, Rush. Rush was just drawn. They are in Conference 1. That's Steve. Now we'll go back to Conference 2. 5th team in Conference 2. Southern Illinois. Bob is in Conference 2. Okay, back to Conference 1. Conference 1, 6-team Buffalo. Mike is in Conference 1. Okay, only 5 teams left. Mix them up, draw one. And Detroit, which was the old Travelocity team. Mark took this team over. They are in Conference 2. Whoops, 4 teams left. I guess the sticky note wasn't the best idea because they stick together when they're rolled up. Okay, Victoria is the next team out for Conference 1. That's Mason. Victoria. 3 teams left. Conference 2, Sudbury. Craig is over in Conference 2. 2 teams left, so once we draw one, and ironically one of them is Los Angeles, the one that was worried about West Coast teams. So either this is Los Angeles or it isn't. And it's Seattle, the Seattle Kraken, which used to be the Philadelphia team. So that means Los Angeles must be the last one, but just to be sure. So there's Los Angeles as the last team selected. The champs go last again. Last in the draft, last in the random conference draw, ironically. So this will be the conferences, unless if somebody has a strong opinion and we're willing to switch teams, that's fine. I just wanted it to be somewhat random when we picked the non-rivals. I didn't really care which conference they were in. So it's not to make one conference stronger or weaker than the other, but to try to balance it as much as possible. And rivalry was the key issue, but there wasn't a lot of strong opinion about that. So there are the conferences for this season.